Do you know what I asked you? I do. I asked her. I said, "Where's your sister at?" And do you know what she told me? "Mommy and Daddy don't want to tell you what happened." Jackson, please. Yes. I need some help. Hey, what's going on? I can't find my daughter. What's your daughter's name? Ashley. Say hello to she 5. She just turned 5. Okay. Sir, what's your name? Ling. Ling out. Okay. And you're at home? Yeah. When's the last time you seen her? This afternoon, probably around what time? 3, maybe 4. Yeah. I mean, she was there sleeping. Where's she sleeping at? In the restaurant. Yeah. She was sleeping there, and I picked up my older daughter from school. We all saw her sleeping there. We went to work, and, we let her sleep, and we got busy, and then after it got busy, we started cleaning up, and then, we opened the door and she's not here. None of your employers have seen her. There's only 2 of us, just myself and my wife. There's nobody in the house in the restaurant. Jackson Township Police Department officers head to Ang's Asian Cuisine. With a caller, 34-year-old Ling Xiao, his wife, 29-year-old Mingming Chun, and their eldest daughter, 6-year-old Jojo, are waiting for them. Ling and Mingming direct officers to the sleeping nook, where they left their 5-year-old youngest daughter, Ashley, to nap while they worked. It's near the back exit door. Officers examine the area, looking for signs of an intruder, but there is no evidence to substantiate that theory. Did Ashley wake up and wander outside alone in the freezing temperatures? Unfortunately, with no security cameras on site, there's no way to know exactly what happened. What police do know is they have to act fast. Jackson Township PD immediately issue a statewide endangered child alert and enlist other law enforcement agencies to aid them in their search. They also flood area TV stations, news outlets, and businesses with Ashley's picture and information, hoping someone will recognize her. Ang's Asian Cuisine on Portage Street Northwest is the last place 5-year-old Ashley Xiao was seen at about 5 p.m. on Monday when she went to take a rest. According to authorities, when her mother went to wake her at 9:30 last night, she was gone. In a statewide advisory about the endangered child, the state attorney general says there is no evidence she was taken, but she is considered to be in danger. That morning, as the search for Ashley continues, authorities bring Ling and Mingming down to the station for questioning. As a teenager, Mingming immigrated to America. English isn't her first language, so a translator is present for her interview. Okay, so we were trying to figure out yesterday the timeline of what happened. And where were we? Okay, so she told us yesterday that her husband had just picked up Jojo from school and brought him back to the restaurant. So if you can explain to her, tell us what happened after that. My husband, he got out Jojo, and Jojo, very nice to me, very close to me, and every single time when she came back to her shop. And then we will hug, and I'll go back door to, hug her, and then you saw Ashley there at the back door of the restaurant. No, at the steeping up. We called her steeping up. She's on the bed. She bed at the red floor. At the restaurant. Okay. And that was when Jojo came home from school. Yeah. And then what? And then I'll go take out the phone, cook, and the food to the catalyst. Just keep it. He doing that. And I didn't go back, because nothing happened that before, right? So, instead we go home, we finish everything. And we saw the miss who went home and realized she was missing when we finished the everything book. Okay. At the very shop clothing. Yeah. When we're closing and we go, we want to put her jacket on. Okay. So, knit her up and then go home. And we saw her not there. And my husband go outside, go find her, and I'll tell Jojo, I thought Ash need a bathroom. I told Jojo go up to the bathroom to check Ashley there. No, Jojo told me no. And then Jojo go outside to find Ashley too. But when we came back, the back door will be locked. We can't go inside, and I just touched the door. And then my husband, opened the door for me. And then he got a phone, and I asked him, what are you doing? The color call neck. What do you think happened to Ashley? I don't know. I don't know what happened to Ashley because we didn't see her coat dry and the shoes. I don't want to say anything about that because I don't know. I think maybe she'd go outside by herself. I don't know. But I think when someone just came in opened the bad doors, I didn't use somebody came in there. I don't think so. Has Ashley ever done that before? She tried to open the door a few times, And then, I add her. And then her come back, don't do that anymore. Because when you go outside, we got mommy and daddy. You think no more mommy and daddy, right? When like Jojo tried to go to the front door a few times. And we told her I got you. And she okay, don't go outside without mommy and daddy. Mingming's story is consistent with what she and her husband told detectives last night at the restaurant. However, when their daughter Jojo spoke with detectives, she made a comment that struck detectives as odd. You remember when I come to the restaurant? I come in last night. Remember when you guys called us? I was there because I brought you and in Jojo back, talked to her. Remember that when I brought you guys back here, that gentleman talked to her for a little bit? Yeah. Remember when I talked to her alone in the restaurant? Yeah. Remember that when I said, can I talk to her alone for a few minutes? And you guys let me up front? Do you know what I asked Jojo? I asked her, I said, where's your sister at? And do you know what she told me? Mommy and daddy don't want me to tell you what happened. No one. Jojo's comment last night compelled authorities to perform another search of the restaurant. Earlier this morning, officers made a sickening discovery. Inside the walk-in freezer, they found Ashley's lifeless body. She had been stuffed into a storage bin and covered in salt. We found Ashley where? In the restaurant. In the restaurant. Yeah, so weird. Trying to play Mimi. She's dead. She's dead in your restaurant, honey. That's where she's at. Found her. Dead. And meaning you know what happened yesterday. You do. Why? I know. Because you're her mother. Because you were with her. Because Jojo was with her. You know what happened yesterday. Okay, so we can keep playing this game. But you know what happened, and we need to figure out what happened. I only can say I saw her sleep, Dad, and then we could find her last night. Do you think your husband did something to her? No. Do you think he had anything to do with it? How about Jojo? Do you think Jojo had something to do with it? Are you sure? Of course not. Why? Because Jojo's kids. Really? Yeah. What happened to your daughter? Which one? Ashley. Ashley, you're not even crying. I can't. Why? Because I don't have any waters anymore. Okay. What happened to her? How did she end up dead in your restaurant? Ming, you do get it. You do get it because she's dead. Your daughter is dead. Ming, she's dead. She wasn't on the couch. She wasn't on the bed. She's dead in your restaurant. While Ming issues one denial after another, her husband Ling says he's ready to come clean. What happened yesterday morning? Okay, yesterday morning, we got up, we prepped Jojo for school. I took Jojo to school. I came back. When I came back, my wife was very angry with Ashley because she peed on her diaper and she pooped on her diaper. I know this doesn't sound like a big deal, but she's 5 years old and she's on the hiding train and angry and her head on the carpet. To eventually she was breathing. She was still breathing. Then did you see your wife still there? Okay, so right then she wasn't breathing. She was breathing. I was breathing and, okay. So she's okay. Was there any blood or anything? No. She lay on the floor after hitting the carpet. Yes. 2 and 30 minutes to make that town. That was much longer than that. We actually took her to the bathroom because she was vomiting. We took her to the bathroom. She vomited after he and Ming cleaned Ashley up. Ling says they laid her back down on the floor. I didn't let her sit there for a while, and then I noticed that she was breathing the weight again. So when I thought she was breathing regularly, and then I checked her, and then I realized that she was crunched out, her heart stopped, and that's why I started getting depression. I did for a while. But then we started panicking. We didn't know what to do first thing by my show Jojo, and my whole all right. At school, you or your wife tell each other to call 911. Yeah, we'll be talking about it. No. What? She says that, we're both afraid. We're both afraid of what's going to happen if we call in fact afraid. We're going to lose our daughter. We're going to lose our family. The restaurant, the house that we're getting, everything in our lives that we worked so hard for the past 6 years. This is going to be gone. Instead of calling 911, Ling says he and Ming came up with a plan, and it involved Jojo. After a while, we decided both of us, I don't know exactly capable was, but she went into the restaurant so Jojo can see her, at the room that she was in if she sleeps in there. So Jojo would see that she's sleeping there and verify, she's sick, and even if she policy to take polygraph, a 6-year-old wouldn't mind like that. And so we didn't watch over the eyes. So we watch over to see Ashley there like that. Ling says they put Ashley's body into their car and drove from their home to the restaurant, and we brought her inside, and we just laid her there, and Yui just continue. The plan was for Georgia to come to see her there to verify that she's there, and then I would hire her up in the walker, and then when we called the police at night, JoJo could verify that she was there. So, how long did you leave Ashley Lehman with that? I got the restaurant until about 7:06 or 7. She was lying, or should have saw her. And she said she can't help it that it's between that's no wonder really sleep. You can actually cook to serve meals while your daughter was laying there. Yes. And well, business as usual. Yes. What were your plans to do after? We quit looking for whatever. What were you going to do? We don't really know of those three things. I burn it, bury it, or throw in the ocean. Those are the only three things that we can think of. If you put it in the ocean, the guys will watch it. If you bury it, water animals can get at it. So hide it. If you burn it, there's a chance that someone's going to see you because it's got to be a big flame. I have to do it during the day because at night, it's so when you're burning a big flame at night. I think when we thought about all of this and honestly went really sure on what to do after that. With Ling's confession on record, investigators doubled down on Mingming. You know, we don't have to sit here and yell back and forth to each other. I need to talk to my husband, please. I'll see what I can do about let you talk to your husband. Okay, well, why don't we get all this stuff done first? Why don't I already know you know what happened to me. I want you to tell me. No, you want me to say, I'm not going to tell you what you want me to say. I'm telling you. I want to know what happened to your daughter. I don't know if you want me to say something. Okay, I'll say something. We're not going to do that. I want you to tell me what happened to your daughter. I just want my husband. I want you to tell me what happened to Ashley. I don't know. How can I tell you? Mingming shuts down, but Ling keeps talking. He says Mingming's wrath towards Ashley began long before her death. She has problems with Ashley because we got her when she was born. We had raised her. My mom raised her, okay, for 40 years. Then we got her back, even so she's fine. Why didn't you raise Ashley yourself? I was running a restaurant. I couldn't really take care of everything. So I naturally could trust my mom, to raise my daughter. When did the abuse start with your wife and Ashley? About a little bit after a month after she arrived, which in the beginning was not that bad. It was like discipline, trying to correct her, like I hide the toilet, stuff like that, minor stuff. And the thing with Ashley was that she still doesn't know to potty in the bathroom. So that really gets my wife going because we have her for a year now and she still don't know how to train. Well, would she twist her arm? Would she kick her? Would she hit her? How would happen? Pretty much all of it, twist her arm. Kick her a couple of times. She hit her head before like that, and she comes out of it. How many times would you say she's done that to her? For maybe. Tell her she needs to knock it off. I tried that. She needs to stop. I tried, and she knows she needs to stop, and I tried. But in the beginning, it seems like the more I try, but it depends on the situation. Like if she's at that situ that time, where she's feeling that anger, and I tell her to stop, she gets even more angry. Ling insists Mingming never abused their older daughter, JoJo. It was Ashley who suffered the brunt of her mother's rage. Why didn't you ever report the abuse to law enforcement? I was worried, scared that sending my wife away. And both myself and my wife, we knew that something like this would happen eventually if Ashley wasn't sent away. But we couldn't send my mom because my mom will raise her like this again. So the plan was to send her to my wife's mom in China eventually. I was just hoping that, it would have come to this before we sent her away, and it will let it give my wife some time to balance out. Do you have anything else you want to ask? Do you know what's going to happen to my wife? I understand she's going to get locked up, but is it like a regular jail, or she's going to get institutionalized? Well, it'll be regular jail. She'll just go to the regular jail. That has to go through court and everything. Are we talking years? I can't be honest with you. I'm not sure. We need to talk to our prosecutor, and then we'll go from there. Ling is placed under arrest and charged with complicity to commit murder and felonious assault. Police say he declines his wife's request to speak with him. I talked to your husband, and the only thing that he said, I told him what you told me to tell you. He said he didn't want to talk to you. He don't want to talk to me. He said he just wants you to be truthful with us. And he was crying. Can I talk to him a little bit? I tried that. And he didn't want to do it. Okay. No, all right. Well, I think we're done. No, not that. Actually, here's me. Can you just ask me some questions? I can't tell you the whole story. I can't. Me? Because I don't know how. What happened to Ashley? How she got? I'll kill her. You killed her? Yeah. Did you hit her? Yeah. Okay. How did you hit her? How? Yeah. Your hand could do that. Okay. Yeah. Is that what happened? How many times you hit her? I don't know. What happened after she was died? Often she will die. Okay. And what you're telling me is the truth. Yeah. After Mingming's confession, authorities inform her that Jojo will be placed with Child Protective Services. I gotta tell you something right now, okay? Okay. You're under arrest, okay? For murder and for assault. We understand that. Okay, you and I are gonna walk up to my office and we got some paperwork to go through, and then after that, you'll be going out to the jail. Okay. Do you have any other questions for Well? He's got some issues he's got to deal with right now. Okay. He's gonna be charged with some stuff too. Okay. Before Mingming's led away, detectives get a flash of the animosity and resentment that led to Ashley's murder. She need diagnose everything from the restaurant. I only have 2 hands. I'm not 4 hands, girl. I'm 2 hands. I don't want to do that to Ashley. But you can't control yourself sometimes. If you do 1 times, that means you have 2 times. If you 2 times, that means you have 3 times. I don't want to do that, right? But I can't. I can't control myself. A lot of stuff. The following night, hundreds of people brave the cold and gather outside to honor Ashley's memory and mourn her death. When we drive by, we just can't even fathom that something like that would happen to a 5-year-old child. Patrons of the restaurant remember her as an incredibly smart, sweet child who loved to color. I remember her running around the Erie, and she would just draw pictures and take them over to people. Every time that we were here, she would be chattering away. When we came in, we were always greeted by a smile from her. And she especially loved children. Her eyes would light up when Maggie would come in. Following her arrest, Mingming Chun pleads not guilty to murder by reason of insanity. In September of 2017, Ling Jiao reaches a deal with prosecutors. He pleads guilty to multiple charges, including obstructing justice and abuse of a corpse. He's sentenced to 12 years in prison. In exchange, he agrees to testify against his wife. But his day on the witness stand never comes. 3 months later, in December of 2017, Mingming pleads guilty to involuntary manslaughter, evidence tampering, abuse of a corpse, child endangerment, and obstructing justice. She is sentenced to 22 years in prison. Before she is led away, the judge addresses her, saying that children should be able to rely on their parents for love, safety, and protection. And in this case, I can't imagine the horror for your child, Ashley. Every night, across America, thousands of restaurants close their doors. Staff wipe down tables, sweep floors, count the till. It is the quiet, unremarkable end to an ordinary day. But on the night of January 30th, 2016, inside a small Asian restaurant on Portage Street Northwest in Jackson Township, Ohio, the end of the day would reveal something so horrifying, so unthinkable, that it would shake an entire community to its core. A little girl was missing, and the people who knew exactly what happened to her were the same people who were supposed to love her most. At approximately 9:30 p.m., a frantic call comes into Jackson Township Police Department. A father says he cannot find his 5-year-old daughter. I can't find my daughter. What's your daughter's name? Ashley. She just turned 5. The caller is 34-year-old Ling Xiao, co-owner of Ang's Asian Cuisine. He tells dispatchers his daughter Ashley was napping in the back of the restaurant while he and his wife, 29-year-old Mingming Chun, worked the dinner service. When closing time came, Ashley was gone. Officers arrive within minutes. What they find is a worried-looking father, a quiet mother, and a 6-year-old girl named Jojo standing close to her parents, wide-eyed and still. When we got there, on the surface, everything looked like a concerned family. Father's upset. Mother's quiet, but that's not unusual given the language barrier. We start looking around, checking the exits, checking the sleeping area near the back door. Nothing. No signs of forced entry. No signs of a struggle. Nothing to suggest anyone came in from outside. The sleeping nook where Ashley was last seen is a small, modest space near the restaurant's rear exit. A makeshift resting area where the children would sleep while their parents worked long shifts. It is not uncommon for immigrant families running small businesses to bring their children to work. What is uncommon is for a child to simply vanish from it, with no security cameras inside or outside the restaurant. Investigators have no footage to work with. They have only the word of the parents and the eerie silence of a little girl who is no longer there. Within the hour, Jackson Township Police Department issues a statewide endangered child alert. Ashley Xiao, 5 years old, last seen wearing pink pajamas, considered to be in danger. Authorities are asking for the public's help tonight in locating a missing 5-year-old girl. Ashley Xiao was last seen at her family's restaurant on Portage Street Northwest at approximately 5 p.m. Monday evening. Television stations, radio outlets, and businesses across the region are flooded with Ashley's photograph. Law enforcement from multiple agencies joined the search, combing the surrounding streets, parking lots, and nearby wooded areas in temperatures that have dropped well below freezing. It was cold that night, really cold, and that's what was going through everyone's mind. This is a 5-year-old child in pajamas in January in Ohio. Every minute matters. We had people out there on foot, in cars, checking every corner we could think of. But as the hours pass, no one reports seeing Ashley. No one calls in a tip. The trail, from the very beginning, is ice cold. The following morning, as the search continues outside, detectives bring both Ling and Mingming into the station for formal questioning. They are interviewed separately. Mingming, who immigrated to the United States as a teenager, speaks limited English. A translator is brought in to assist. Walk me through yesterday. Start from when your husband picked up Jojo from school. My husband, he got Jojo. She came back to the shop. I hugged her. I saw Ashley sleeping in the back. Then I went back to cooking. We were busy. We finished everything, started closing up, and then she was not there. And you didn't check on her during the shift? Not once. Nothing happened before. She always sleep there. I think she okay. Mingming's account is consistent with what the couple told officers the night before. On the surface, she presents as a mother bewildered by her daughter's disappearance. But experienced detectives know that consistency isn't the same as truth. And something about Mingming's composure is quietly unsettling. In my experience, when a parent doesn't know where their child is, genuinely doesn't know, there's a certain kind of panic that's hard to fake. You see it in their eyes, in the way they can't sit still, in the way they keep asking you what you're doing to find their kid. Mingming wasn't doing any of that. She was calm. Too calm. But it isn't Mingming or Ling who first alerts investigators that something is deeply wrong. It is a 6-year-old girl, Jojo. I pulled Jojo aside at the restaurant the night of the report. Just a few minutes. I want to talk to her alone, away from her parents. Kids that age, they don't filter things the way adults do. And I asked her, very simply, where's your sister? And she looked at me and said, Mommy and Daddy don't want me to tell you what happened. That sentence changed everything. A 6-year-old child does not construct a sentence like that out of thin air. She doesn't say, I don't know, or she went outside. She says her parents told her not to tell. That is not the language of confusion. That is the language of a secret. When a young child says something like, I'm not supposed to tell you, they're almost always repeating an instruction they were given by an adult. Children that age are not naturally secretive about the things they witness. They have to be taught to keep quiet. And teaching a child to keep quiet about something that happened to their sibling, that is a significant red flag. Jojo's words are enough. Detectives decide to search the restaurant again, more thoroughly this time. Every room, every door, every corner. The following morning, officers returned to Ang's Asian cuisine. They worked methodically through the restaurant, the dining area, the kitchen, the storage rooms. And then they reached the walk-in freezer. Inside, among the containers of food and restaurant supplies, officers find a storage bin. Inside the bin, covered in salt, is the body of 5-year-old Ashley Xiao. She had been there the entire time, while her parents spoke to police, while the community searched the streets. While her photograph was broadcast on the evening news, Ashley was never missing. She was hidden. When I got that call that morning, I had to sit down for a minute. Because you process it, and then you have to set that aside and do your job. But yeah, she was there. She'd been there the whole time. Right there in that freezer, armed with the devastating discovery Detectives confront Mingming directly. "We found Ashley. She's in the restaurant, Mingming. She's dead. I only can say I saw her sleeping." "She wasn't sleeping. She's gone, Mingming. And you were there." Mingming continues to deny any knowledge of what happened to her daughter. She asks repeatedly to speak with her husband. She deflects. She shuts down. Meanwhile, in a separate room, Ling Xiao is ready to talk. What he tells detectives that morning is a portrait of a household where fear, shame, and silence have been building for a long time. "Yesterday morning, my wife was very angry with Ashley. She had an accident. She was in her diaper. And my wife, she lost her temper. She hit her. She hit her head on the carpet. And then what happened? She was breathing. We thought she was okay. We cleaned her up, put her in the bathroom because she was vomiting. Then we laid her back down. And then her heart stopped." He described it very matter-of-factly at first, like he was recounting something that happened to someone else. And then you could see it hit him, what actually meant, what they had actually done. Ling tells detectives that after realizing Ashley was dead, he and Mingming made a calculated decision. They would not call 911. They were afraid of losing their restaurant, their home, their family, everything they had built over 6 years. Instead, they devised a cover story. They used their other daughter, JoJo, as an unwitting alibi, bringing Ashley's body to the restaurant, laying it in the sleeping nook, so that JoJo would see her sleeping there and later confirm to police that she had been alive that afternoon. "We thought if JoJo saw her there, then when we called the police, JoJo could say she saw her sleeping. Like an alibi. You used your 6-year-old daughter to cover up the death of your 5-year-old daughter." As investigators piece together the events of that day, a darker, longer story begins to emerge. Ashley's death was not an isolated incident of lost temper. It was the catastrophic endpoint of a pattern of abuse that had been going on for months. Ling told us the abuse had been happening since shortly after Ashley came to live with them. She had been raised by Ling's mother in China for the first 4 years of her life. When she came back to live with her parents, Mingming struggled with her, and that struggle turned physical. Ling describes incidents of Mingming twisting Ashley's arms, kicking her, striking her head. He says he intervened when he could, but that confronting Mingming often made her angrier. He says he knew it was serious. He says he and Mingming both knew that eventually something terrible was going to happen. What's described here is a textbook pattern of child abuse escalation. It starts with what the abuser frames as discipline. It intensifies over time, and the people around it, even those who love the child, become normalized to it. They start rationalizing. They start making excuses, and they don't act. Not until it's too late. Ling admits he never called law enforcement, never called Child Protective Services, never told a teacher, a neighbor, a friend. His reasons were tangled in fear. Fear of losing his wife, his family, his business. He had hoped to send Ashley to live with Mingming's mother in China before things got worse. They ran out of time. Perhaps the most heartbreaking dimension of Ashley's story is the role her 6-year-old sister JoJo was made to play in it. Without fully understanding what had happened, JoJo was dressed, taken to the restaurant, and guided past her sister's body, her parents watching to make sure she saw Ashley sleeping there. A child that age cannot fully process what she witnessed. She knew something was wrong. Children always know, but she didn't have the language or the framework to understand that her sister was dead. What she did understand was that her parents told her not to say anything, and she tried to honor that, until she couldn't. It was JoJo's single sentence, "Mommy and Daddy don't want me to tell you what happened," that cracked the case open. A 6-year-old girl, trying to be loyal to her parents, inadvertently became the most important witness in her sister's murder investigation. Following the arrests of both parents, JoJo is placed in the care of Child Protective Services. The night after Ashley's body is discovered, hundreds of people gather outside Ang's Asian cuisine in the freezing cold. They bring candles, flowers, and stuffed animals. They come because they knew Ashley, because she greeted them with a smile every time they walked through the door, because she used to carry her drawings across the dining room and hand them to strangers. She was just this bright little light. Every time we came in, she'd be running around, drawing pictures, chatting with everybody. She had no fear of people. She just loved being around people. You just can't fathom it. You sit there and you think, we were here. We ate here. She was right there. And we had no idea what was happening to her behind closed doors. For many in the community, the grief is compounded by guilt, the nagging, impossible question of whether there were signs they missed, whether something could have been done. That's the hardest part of cases like this, because the answer is usually yes, there were signs. There are almost always signs, but they're the kind of signs that are easy to explain away. A quiet kid, a kid who doesn't come to school, a bruise that gets covered up. People don't want to believe what they're seeing, and children pay the price for that. In the months that follow, the wheels of justice turn slowly but deliberately. Following her arrest, Ming Chun initially pleads not guilty to murder by reason of insanity. Prosecutors push back hard. The evidence against her is overwhelming. Her own confession, her husband's detailed account, the physical evidence found in the restaurant, and the words of a 6-year-old girl who tried to keep a secret she never should have been asked to keep. In September of 2017, Ling Xiao reaches a deal with prosecutors. He pleads guilty to multiple charges, including obstructing justice and abuse of a corpse. He is sentenced to 12 years in prison. In exchange, he agrees to testify against his wife. His testimony, however, is never needed. 3 months later, in December of 2017, Ming Chun pleads guilty to involuntary manslaughter, evidence tampering, abuse of a corpse, child endangerment, and obstructing justice. She is sentenced to 22 years in prison. Before she is led from the courtroom, the judge speaks directly to her. Children are born into this world entirely dependent on the people who bring them here. They trust their parents absolutely. They have no choice but to trust them. Ashley trusted you, and you failed her in the most profound and irreversible way imaginable. Children should be able to rely on their parents for love, safety, and protection. Ashley deserved that. She deserved so much more than what she got. I cannot imagine the fear and the pain of her final moments. And I hope that this court's sentence reflects, in some small measure, the weight of what was taken from her. Ashley Xiao was 5 years old. She loved to color. She loved to draw pictures and walk them across a restaurant dining room to hand to people she didn't know, because she loved to make people smile. She greeted everyone who walked through her family's door with warmth and joy that belied anything that may have been happening in the back rooms of her short life. She did not get the childhood she deserved. She did not get the mother she deserved. She did not get the protection she deserved. What she got, in the end, was a community that refused to forget her. Neighbors who stood in the cold with candles. Strangers who wept for a little girl they knew only by her smile. And a 6-year-old sister who, in a single sentence, made sure the truth came out. Continuing from where the script left off, in the weeks and months following the sentencing, investigators and child welfare advocates began asking the harder questions. Not just what happened inside Ang's Asian cuisine on that cold January night, but how it was allowed to happen at all. How a 5-year-old child could be suffering behind closed doors, in plain sight of a community, and nobody knew. Or if they did know, nobody said anything. Ashley had been living with her parents for roughly a year before she died. For most of that year, she was present in the restaurant almost every day. She sat in the dining room. She colored at the tables. She handed her drawings to customers. She smiled at strangers. And yet the bruises, the fear, the pain she carried home with her every night remained invisible to the world outside. Child welfare experts who reviewed the case say this is not unusual. In fact, it is one of the most common and most devastating patterns in child abuse cases. The child is visible in public, but the abuse happens in private. The child is too young or too afraid to ask for help, and the adults around them, neighbors, customers, extended family, are either unaware of the warning signs or unwilling to get involved. She was in that restaurant every single day. She interacted with dozens of people, and not one of those people ever saw anything that made them pick up the phone. That tells you something about how well these situations can be concealed. It also tells you something about how much we, as a society, need to be paying attention. The case raises painful questions about the child welfare system as well. Ashley had been brought from China to the United States to live with parents she barely knew. She had spent the first 4 years of her life being raised by her paternal grandmother overseas. The transition to life with Ling and Mingming was abrupt and difficult, and there was no system in place to monitor how she was adjusting, whether she was safe, whether she needed help. When a child moves internationally into a family situation, especially after years of separation, there should be follow-up. There should be someone checking in, not because every family is suspected of wrongdoing, but because transition periods are vulnerable periods. Children need support, and sometimes families need support too, the kind of support that might have changed the outcome in a case like this. Ling himself admitted during his interrogation that he knew the situation was escalating. He knew his wife's anger was getting worse. He knew Ashley was suffering, and he did nothing. Not out of indifference, he claimed, but out of fear. Fear of losing everything. Fear of what would happen to his family if he made that phone call. I was scared. I thought if I called, everything would fall apart. The restaurant, the house, my wife, my kids. I thought I could manage it. I thought I could keep it from getting worse. I was wrong. What Ling's testimony reveals is something that child abuse researchers have documented extensively. Bystanders, even those close to the abuse, often remain silent not because they don't care, but because they're trapped in their own web of fear, denial, and misplaced loyalty. They convince themselves that things will get better, that this time will be the last time, that they can fix it from the inside. And by the time they realize they cannot, it is too late. There's a term for this in behavioral psychology. It is called the bystander effect, and it applies not just to strangers on a street, but to family members inside a home. The closer you are to a situation, paradoxically, the harder it can be to see it clearly. You normalize what you see every day. You make excuses. You look away, and a child pays the price. For the detectives who worked the Ashley Xiao case, the sentencing of both Ling and Mingming brought a measure of closure, but not peace. Cases involving children never fully leave you. They stay with you in ways that are hard to explain to people who haven't experienced it. You go home that night, and you look at your own kids, and you just hold them a little tighter. You don't talk about the case. You can't, really. You just sit there, and you're grateful. And then the next morning you get up and you go back to work because there are other kids out there who need someone to fight for them. The investigation into Ashley's death also prompted a broader conversation in Jackson Township and across Ohio about mandatory reporting laws and the responsibility of community members to speak up when they suspect a child is being harmed. In Ohio, certain professionals, teachers, doctors, social workers are legally required to report suspected child abuse. But ordinary citizens, neighbors, restaurant customers, family friends are not held to the same legal standard. Advocates argue that this needs to change. The law tells certain people they have to report. But morally, ethically, every single one of us has that responsibility. If you see a child who seems frightened, who flinches when an adult raises their hand, who has unexplained bruises, who seems withdrawn or distressed, you don't need a law to tell you to pick up the phone. You need a conscience, and most people have one. They just need to be reminded to use it. In the aftermath of the case, several community organizations in the Jackson Township area launched awareness campaigns centered on child abuse prevention and early intervention. Local schools incorporated age-appropriate programs to help children understand the difference between safe and unsafe situations and to encourage them to speak to trusted adults when something feels wrong. The irony, not lost on anyone involved in the case, is that it was ultimately a child who broke the silence. Not an adult, not a trained professional, not a mandatory reporter. A 6-year-old girl who didn't fully understand what she was saying, but said it anyway. Mommy and Daddy don't want me to tell you what happened. 7 words that unraveled everything. JoJo's role in the case is something that investigators and child psychologists have reflected on deeply. She was placed in an impossible position by the 2 people who were supposed to protect her. She was made to walk past her sister's body. She was told to keep a secret, and she tried. She tried the way a 6-year-old tries, imperfectly, instinctively, in the only way she knew how, by telling the truth when someone asked her a direct question. What happened to JoJo in the months and years after the case is something that those close to the investigation do not discuss publicly, out of respect for her privacy. She is a child who lost her sister, lost her parents, and lost the only life she had ever known, all in the space of a single night. Whatever path her life takes from here, the hope of everyone who worked this case is that she finds safety, stability, and people who love her the way she always deserved to be loved. The restaurant on Portage Street Northwest closed shortly after the arrests. The sign came down. The lights went dark. For a time, the building sat empty, a quiet monument to something the neighborhood was still trying to process. Some residents said they couldn't drive past it without thinking of Ashley, without seeing her in their minds, running between the tables, drawing her pictures, handing them to strangers with a smile. She didn't know she was living in the middle of something terrible. That's what breaks your heart. She was 5 years old, and she still found reasons to smile, still found reasons to run across a room and give somebody a drawing. Kids are resilient in ways that can take your breath away, and they're vulnerable in ways that should make every one of us feel responsible. The flowers and candles left outside the restaurant in the days after Ashley's death were eventually cleared away by the cold and the rain. But the memory of her, carried by the people who knew her, by the investigators who fought for her, by a community that stood in the freezing dark to honor her, that memory does not clear so easily. Ashley Xiao came into the world quietly, raised for her first years in a country far from the parents she would eventually come to know. She crossed an ocean. She learned a new language, a new home, a new life. She was 5 years old, and she was just getting started. She had drawings left to make, smiles left to give, a whole life stretched out ahead of her that she never got to live. The justice system did what it could. Mingming Chun will spend the better part of her adult life behind bars. Ling Xiao will serve his sentence and emerge into a world without the daughter he failed to protect. The courts have spoken. The sentences have been handed down. But justice, as anyone who has ever worked a case like this will tell you, is not the same thing as peace. It is not the same thing as enough. It never is. Not when the victim is 5 years old. Not when the victim loved to color. Not when the victim handed her drawings to strangers because she wanted them to smile. There is no version of this story with a happy ending. There is only the truth of what happened, the record of how it came to light, and the responsibility of everyone who hears it to carry it forward. To look a little more closely at the children around them. To listen a little more carefully when something feels wrong. To remember that behind every smile in a crowded restaurant, behind every child running between the tables, there is a story, and sometimes that story desperately needs someone to pay attention. Ashley deserves someone to pay attention. She deserved so much more than what she got. And the least we could do, all of us, is make sure that her story means something, that it changes something, that the next child, the one sitting quietly in the back of some restaurant somewhere, drawing pictures and handing them to strangers, gets to grow up. That is what Ashley Xiao deserved. That is what every child deserves. And that is the only memorial that truly matters.